That's called growing up in front of your eyes, right? Because a long time a young team.
They will be perennial contenders for the next 10 years.
Of course, keep building it. Use that 4 and a 10. Use your second round picks. I'll take the kids and I'll keep going with the kids.
Like 2022.
This was the first practice of it. Crazy.
I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Do you really wanna live forever? Forever young.
How do you turn that on?
That's a switch, man.
So I ball so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. But first niggas gotta find me. What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Ball so hard, this shit crazy. Y'all don't know that don't shit phase. And that's could go 0 for 82 when I look at you like this shit gravy. Ball so hard, this shit weird. We ain't even pro be here. Ball so hard since we here. It's only right that we be fair. Psycho, I'm libo to go Michael. Take your pick. Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6. Ball so hard, got a broke clock. Rollies that don't tick tock. All the Mars that's losing time, hidden behind all these big rocks. Ball so hard, I'm shocked too. I'm supposed to be locked up too. You escape when I escape. You be in Paris, get fucked up too. Ball so hard, let's get faded. Live release for like 6 days.
Like, this is what we envisioned.
So it's Taco Tuesday with Gunny. And I know I haven't shared any tacos with you guys the last couple of episodes. So today I decided to go ahead and make it a special one. I'm on time. I got plenty of time this morning. I'm going to share with you guys Brothers Tacos in downtown Houston. Brothers Tacos is a staple in delicious breakfast tacos, and we're going to go ahead and grab some this morning. One of the better taco spots in downtown Houston, and it's not even close. Brothers Tacos. So I used to come here all the time when I was a recruiter. Downtown Houston is the ARI. So I was an assistant recruiter instructor. And this place right here was a must, right? Like when we were dropping kids off downtown to go ahead, get them processing at the MEPS, Military Entrance Processing Station, every Marine around Houston will come here in uniform, get into this line and get tacos. Like Brothers Tacos is one of the freaking best. Yes. I really got way more than I can eat. Ones at the actually, I'm gonna try out 3 new ones I've never tried before at the office for our Taco Tuesday taste test. Okay, so we have Brothers Tacos. We'll try 2 of them that I've never tried before to give a taco taste test. I already know I'm gonna like the other 2 that I got. So this one is a pork. There's pork. Okay, so it's their spicy pork taco. Spicy pork taco. This one is the spicy chicharron taco. So spicy pork and spicy chicharron. Gotta have that sauce. Wow. That spicy pork got some kick. Ooh, that's good. Okay. Now for the spicy chicharron. Okay. So usually at Brothers, I always get the breakfast tacos. These were lunch tacos. And the spicy sausage is delicious. The spicy chicharron is I've had better chicharron. So this is not an indication of Brother Tacos not being delicious. This is just based off of me trying their lunch tacos for the first time. That spicy pork got a nice kick to it, good flavor, delicious. The spicy chicharron, it's I mean, I wouldn't be like I'm gonna crave their spicy chicharron tacos. So with that said, I'm gonna give Brothers Tacos a TTT score for their lunch tacos. 7 out of 10. They get a 7 out of 10. And that's primarily because that spicy pork is really, really good. So, with that said, Brothers Tacos in Houston, Texas for lunch, 7 out of 10. But next time, I'm definitely going to have to do one now for the breakfast tacos because that one's going to be a higher score. Back to the show.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you won a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you won a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother.
And here we go.
Can y'all hear me now? Test. That better? All right. What's up, everybody? Hey, thank you for tuning in to Taco Tuesday with Gunny. Know it's been a little while since I've actually shown you guys a little bit of a taco episode here. I don't know why I'm calling the show Taco Tuesday without actually incorporating any kind of taco. So today we had Brothers Tacos. Hope y'all enjoyed that one. If you're ever out in the Houston area, Dark Soldier, I saw your comment. I'm telling you, when it comes to the breakfast tacos, this place is probably second only to Tita's Tacos. But nonetheless, both of those ones are some bangers when it comes to some tacos. Special shout out to my guest today, Battered Jets Fan, for the freaking fire edit in the beginning, Forever Young. Seeing the New York Jets pretty much operate the way they have over this last freaking 9 games. And the majority of the impact we've seen has been through the youth movement we've had at the roster position. So without further ado, I got 2 guests for us today. We're going to go ahead and talk Jets football, talk about the AFC East, talk about the current stance of not only the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Let me go ahead and bring on my first guest. We've got the Battered Jets Fan. Hey, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Gunny? How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, you know how it is, dog. Living the dream right now, right? Jets are freaking
That's
7-3 in control of our destiny.
Started getting a little hungry watching them tacos.
Hey, bro, that's the whole point, right? I want you to go
ahead
and be watching this. Otherwise,
for
is it really
sure.
Taco Tuesday with Gunny if not, right?
But you got to start traveling, though. You got to do the David Portnoy and start traveling to different cities because I can't get out to Houston, Texas tomorrow.
That's a good point. I plan on doing that whenever I go to different places, probably get a little snippet of like famous taco spots so I can go ahead and start incorporating it throughout the entire series. So
do it.
I got you.
That's a great idea. Yeah, do it.
I'll get you covered. So we got Battered Jets Fan with us, but that's not all. Today I also got with us the Veared Phinatic. You know, he's a loyal Dolphins fan, one of the realest, one of the funnest actually to talk to when it comes to the Dolphins. He's got love for the Jets. I'll give him that. I mean, obviously not as much love as he has for the Dolphins, which I can respect. But nonetheless, he talks football. He's got a high football IQ. Here is the Veared Phinatic. Hey, what's up, bro?
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for having me on. Especially, I know that I don't know if your fan base is gonna be a little mad at you bringing a Dolphins fan online, but I'm happy you brought me on.
Now, man, at the end of the day, I wouldn't just let anybody up in here into my freaking my stream right now. But you're one of those rare ones, bro. You and I have been talking football for a minute now. We connected about 2 months ago, and it's been just easy to have conversations, and we just kind of like clicked. So, like, I'm all about talking football, bro. As long as people have football IQ and they're willing to actually have a conversation, I'm all about it. Look, I just admitted something that hurt my freaking soul earlier today, right? Like, I never thought in a million years I'd be saying that Tua is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. But right now, the way that boy is playing, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't want to play the freaking Dolphins, right? Like, what I once thought was going to be kind of an easy one if we take away the deep ball, this dude is playing at a precise level to where any defense that plays that team can get got at any given time. So it is right now watching the
I got a question. I don't want to throw off your schedule or whatnot, but I do have a question real quick because you just threw that out there and it made me a little bit sick. So let's say we're doing a fantasy draft, right? You're creating your team. You could pick anybody in the NFL.
Okay.
And you have the 5th pick, and you're saying that he would be one of the first 5 picks in your quarterback out of any quarterback in the NFL right now. Not putting him into the Dolphins offense. I'm saying he's a top 5 quarterback. Like, you would draft him top 5?
No. See, that's why I see why a lot of Jets fans right now are salty when I said what I said.
Very salty. Very salty.
Right now. Not you. I'm just saying in general. I got a lot of
stats. But I am salty. I don't want to hear that.
You are. Bro, look.
Yes.
Right now.
I ain't trying to hear that
today, Tua is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. There's no denying that, bro. Like, as much as it pains me to have to say it, and trust me, it sucked for me to go ahead and sit there and be like, damn, this dude look good. Like, I watched that freaking Cleveland game, and people are going to say, well, they got Waddle and they got Hill. No, that man went out of his way to distribute it to 8 different receivers to prove a point. And
preach it.
And I'm telling you, bro, I watched that game, and there was a throw he made to freaking Waddle where it had to be perfect. And he had a defender in his face. Like, he was about to get laid out. 3rd and 10. Bro, beautiful touch pass to the corner. You could see the freaking DB. I want to say it was freaking Newsom. And he's no scrub. A 6'3" freaking defensive back, bro. Fully extended. The amount of touch and precision it took for him to get it right where it had to. I literally got up and said, there's no fucking way he made that throw. And I watched the replay, and I was just like, son of a bitch. He made that throw. And it pains me and I hate it, but I watched that game on Sunday and I was just like, damn, all right. He went out of his way to distribute it to 8 different wide receivers just because. And you know what? I believe Tua did that on purpose. I believe he's heard the noise about it's only Waddle and Hill making them because, bro, there were people getting the ball. I didn't even know were on the team. I followed the Dolphins. I was like, who the hell are these guys? I had no idea who they were. But to answer your question, no, I am not picking him top 5 in a fantasy draft. Because there's guys like
or if you're starting a team, if you were starting a team tomorrow and you don't know what pick you're going to get, but you know you're going to have one of the top 5 picks. Is he going to be guaranteed one of those 5?
No.
Okay.
But that wasn't the question. The question was today.
That wasn't the question.
That was my question. Though.
Okay. Question. I'm not picking him. If I'm starting a team today and I have my pick of any quarterback in the league,
fair enough.
Tua is not in my top 5. No.
Fair enough.
But with that said. The Buffalo Bills lost this weekend.
Yes, he did.
With that wonderful loss, it put our franchises in a position to go ahead and kind of like take the reins in the AFC East. Now, currently, in the moment, the Miami Dolphins are first in the division.
Because they played an extra game.
They did. 100% correct. That is correct. Which is why it's special for us to say, hey, thank you for warming the seat for us, Miami. We appreciate you.
That's where we're going. Okay.
But the New York Jets are literally in control of their own destiny moving forward. Literally in control. At the very least until week 18 when we got to go ahead and play the Dolphins again. And that to me is what's got me excited. Here we are in November as a Jets fan. Like, we're talking about not just playoffs, but potentially leading the AFC East with a win this Sunday against the Patriots. So I already know for myself and the Battered Jets fan, we got a lot to say. Bearded Phinatic. How do you feel about how your team has performed and potentially the New York Jets potentially taking the first overall in the AFC East this weekend?
Well, I don't want to bore your Jets fans, so let's go to your team first. 3 weeks ago, let's go 4 weeks ago, right before that Patriots game, you know, we were sitting in a bubble, and Danny knows this better than anybody, that I was like, this team has the potential to be scary down the road. If Zach Wilson gets the mentality right between his head, if your run game stays consistent and that defense shows up, you guys could probably play with anybody in the league. Up until that point, there was a lot of excuses being made from NFL fans, Dolphin fans, whatever you want to call it, especially Bills Mafia. Those guys are terrible. They blame everything on their losses.
Yeah.
But the ultimate question mark was Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson had one really bad game that we talked about against the Patriots, where he stopped being a game manager after, getting so many wins. And then Danny said it himself, he's going to go back to playing like that Zach. And then we saw that against the Bills. And I told Danny, once that running game gets going and your defense shows up and you have a Zach Wilson game manager back there, this team's going to be able to compete with anybody. And that's why on the Battered Jets show last week, I told Danny, I'm very confident now that before, at the beginning of the season, when I said you guys aren't going to be in the hunt, you guys are going to be competing for a playoff spot, the best you could do is probably be 500, a couple games above 500, just so you could take that potential into next season. But now I'm saying that last game of the season is going to matter a lot to both of our teams. As far as the Dolphins go, yeah, Danny, great excuse. We played one extra game, but you guys were on a bye last week. That's not our fault that you were on a bye last week. But ultimately, if you asked me, do I feel confident where we are based off my initial season review? I told Danny I could see us winning anywhere between 10 and 13 games. Right now, we're still in that pace to hit that mark, right? We're only 3 games away from 10. Ultimately, who knows what could happen down the road, especially with 3 back-to-back road games where you got 49ers, Chargers, and Bills. That's going to be a hell of a stretch.
Yep.
But for you guys, the fact that you got your defense going the way you do, and you have that running game as well. Granted, losing Breece Hall is huge, but having Michael Carter and James Robinson back there, basically picking up where Bryce Hall left behind, you guys are going to be a scary team. And that last game of the season, Danny, where we were thinking, I was thinking it's really not going to matter much. You guys are probably trying to play spoiler. I think that now it's a matter of both of our teams literally competing for the AFC East crown.
I don't know about competing for the AFC East crown. I still think the Bills have a lot to say in that regard.
Okay.
Especially because the Jets have a really difficult – I thought that the second half of the year was going to be the easy part of the schedule for the Jets. Now I look at it, and it looks really daunting. We have 5 road games left, and it's against New England, Buffalo, Minnesota, Seattle, and Miami. All playoff teams, all on the road. So we need to win those last 3 home games, and I don't know how we're going to fare out. I mean, we're undefeated on the road as of now, but those are some good teams. So I don't know. As long as we're fighting for a playoff spot, I'm not worried about the AFC East title right now.
I'm going to come in here and kind of just disagree with you on that one, Battered Jets fan. I'm with you know what I'm saying, Veared Phinatic on this one because you're right. You're right. Our schedule when we first kicked off this season, I think the majority of us figured, all right, we're going to go ahead and if we're lucky to get to 500 in the first portion of the season before the bye week, we're in a good spot.
That's what I thought we would be. I thought we would be 4 or 5 wins and then take off second half of the year.
I had that 4 and 5 at this point of the season. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't have us winning this much. 4 and 5.
Nope.
And I thought on the back end, we were gonna go ahead and pick up some steam. Now, there's a lot of people talking about Justin Fields being scary. The Detroit Lions might scare us a little bit because Jameson Williams apparently should be back for that game. The Buffalo Bills game and the Miami Dolphins game, that one I'm not going to pretend to even remotely have an idea of how that's going to turn out. I think both teams are going to be pissed off, and we should expect an A game from them. I actually have us losing both of those games. I'm not going to lie.
Ooh.
I think we're going to lose to the Buffalo Bills. I think we're going to lose to the Miami Dolphins. I don't think we're going to sweep these guys. I think the win here against the Patriots is going to be key. Now, for me, this is – I know we probably heard this a lot over the last 3 to 4 weeks, right? Oh my God, this is the most important game of the Jets freaking like season, whatever. But this game legitimately, though, when you think about it, win and we lead the AFC East in control of our destiny until we play, I would say, the Miami Dolphins. I think the Buffalo Bills got a couple more losses in their arsenal.
Real quick question for you both, and I don't mean to cut you off because he says, or until we lose. Outside of the Dolphins, and I'm saying the Dolphins just because it's going to be our high-powered offense versus your very versatile defense.
Facts.
So outside of that game, Danny, what other game that you look at on the schedule until you meet us at the end of the season kind of gives you some pause outside of Justin Fields running all over you like he did us?
That's a good question.
Minnesota at home.
Minnesota at home.
Then Buffalo at home. And then Seattle on January 1st, after the young guys party their ass off on New Year's and play the next day in Seattle. Seattle on the road, which is a good defense. Seattle team. I'm sorry, like I'm as optimistic as they come.
Of course.
Look, I said that we had a chance to make the playoffs, and everybody was laughing at me. I said that I bet money on the Bills game because I felt confident that we would beat the Bills. Yeah. But I'm not gonna say that we're gonna go ahead and win. Those 5 road games are really tough. And we need to get this New England game. If we don't get this New England game, I start feeling a lot more worried about where we're going to be as far as playoff seeding or playoffs at all if we can't beat New England this week. Because I feel like we're a better team than they are. I feel like our guys are going to be hyped up to play them. And if even with all that emotion that they have, wanting to get back at them for what they did just 2 weeks ago, if we can't win this game, I'm not feeling too great necessarily about what's coming in the following 4 road games.
And that's fair. I'm with you there. That's fair. I really have the Jets having to win this game. I know people are going to say, well, it's a must-win. If you lose, it's not the end of the season. But I do think it impacts the trajectory of the season. I think right 100%. Now, I think, who was it? I saw a Buffalo Jet fan say it perfectly. It's not a must-win, but it's a can't-lose kind of game, right?
For sure.
Like,
if we win, we're first in the AFC East. If we lose, we literally go to last place in the AFC. Literally.
One game can flip the season just like that.
But don't you think because the division is so close, it doesn't really matter that much because you already did beat the Patriots. So technically, you beat 500 with the Patriots. You could potentially beat 500 with the Bills, and then you could potentially beat 500 with the Dolphins.
No,
so
they beat us. They beat us.
Oh, they did. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Never mind. Yeah. So it is a must win. Never mind. I take it back. Yeah. It is a must win.
Yeah, they beat us, bro. Like that's what's frustrating about it because that game now more and more when you look at that tape, you're like, damn, we really shot ourselves in the foot. Like Zach Wilson throws one less interception that game, we win that game. Like
yes,
they
if they don't call that penalty on that pick 6, we win that game.
We win that game. Like it's. I think that's
if
what's so
LaFleur
scary
runs the ball that game, we win. I don't know why we didn't run the ball that game. I know Breece Hall had just gotten injured, but Jesus fucking Christ, you still have Michael Carter. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can curse on him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
But it's frustrating that they didn't run the ball. That they got just because Breece Hall wasn't there anymore doesn't mean that you get away from what's working. You can still run the ball with Michael Carter and James Robinson. That's why we traded for the guy.
Yeah.
So I think that was more on the play calling and not running the ball more than anything else, and putting the game basically on Zach Wilson's shoulders.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, though, it's going to be between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins for the AFC East champions. And I say that because seeing this like collapse of Josh Allen from MVP favorite to I don't know what the hell he is, that's mental, man. Like the mistakes he's made in these last 2 games have been purely mental, if you ask me. Well, I know the Jets defense really got after him. I can understand that, but he's had 3 turnovers in the last 2 games in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
That's inexcusable. He's also leading the league in interceptions, if I'm not mistaken.
And fumbles lost.
He is.
And lost.
He is.
Like,
yes.
Josh Allen right now, I saw something earlier cracked me up, and they were comparing Josh Allen to being a tall Baker Mayfield.
Oh, my God. Well, in all fairness, Danny, when Josh Allen came into the league, he did. I think, Danny, correct me if I'm wrong. You thought Josh Allen was the epitome of a trash quarterback, but
Mitch
you also
Trubisky
said
is what I would compare him to.
There you go. That's who it was. Mitch Trubisky was the comparison.
Damn, that's
Bills Mafia would kill this guy on Instagram. You have
Luckily,
no idea.
I wasn't on Twitter yet.
That's just disrespectful.
It was. It really was.
But to the Josh Allen point, I think just referring to that Jets game, I don't know who he was throwing it to. Those 2 interceptions that he threw, he was throwing it to absolutely nobody. There was nobody there. I don't know what he's in his own head right now because those are really bad picks that he threw.
It looked very Zach Wilson-ish. That's what it looked like.
All right, first of all,
yes,
bad Zach
It
Wilson.
did.
Yes.
It did.
Bad Zach
It did.
Wilson. Yes, it did. I'll give you that. But man, it was one of those things where Josh Allen went from being this freaking mountain that the rest of the division had to be worried about to like, oh, he's human. He does bleed, and now there's blood in the water, and we all know like, oh, we can go ahead and get this guy to make mistakes. So I do believe there's a couple more losses that they're going to have to deal with. Hell, I actually think they're going to lose this coming Sunday. I'm not going to lie to you. I think they're going to lose this Sunday. People think I'm crazy for saying that, but we'll see. I think right now because it's mental And because he's starting to feel the pressure of it, and not to mention, their offense is literally Josh Allen. Like, have you guys looked at the statistics for this team? He's responsible for 24 of their 28 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally Josh Allen. He's a one-man army out there. The running game is non-existent if not for Josh Allen. And
for sure.
His biggest weapon is Stephon Diggs. You got Gabe Davis with a 50% drop rate. Like, as daunting as it is to look at the Bills in the beginning of the season, we were all like, oh my God, wow, this is like, you know what I'm saying? These are the guys. They're it. They're who we need to dominate. When you start like peeling it back a little bit, it's really a one-dimensional offense with Stephon Diggs being the primary guy. You take him out of the game, then you got Gabe Davis, which is a 50-50 shot. He's going to drop the ball anyway, which he did against Minnesota, but we don't freaking – the refs ain't doing their job, so it is what it is. But, like, they're more of a beatable team now based off of what we've seen the last couple of weeks than we would have thought earlier on, because you've seen two teams now take advantage of their weaknesses, which is if you do your best to go ahead and keep Stephon Diggs in check, and you can keep Josh Allen from running as much as possible, that's it. Their offensive options are kind of limited.
And you know what's funny is that – sorry, go ahead, Danny.
I was going to say, to his point about the Browns game, although the Browns are not very good, there's supposed to be a snowstorm coming into Buffalo this weekend. You're going to have to run the ball. The Bills don't necessarily have a run-heavy team unless it's Josh Allen running the ball. And then you're playing against the Browns, who have Nick Chubb. So if there was a perfect scenario for them to drop a game against the Browns at home, it would be this. And if they go into on a 3-game losing streak, that's going to mess with them mentally big time. And at that point, I agree with you. There's a good chance that maybe it is between the Jets and the Dolphins fighting for the AFC East crown. What are you saying, man?
My point to you guys is going to be, yeah, you guys did lose to the Patriots, but I don't know if you're hesitant to pick this game. I don't think there's a reason you should be hesitant. Like, they beat you 22-17 with Zach Wilson making a bunch of mental mistakes. I don't think that's the same Zach that's going to play this game upcoming. I think your defense is going to be ready. And, like, they've been looking forward to this game when y'all lost 3 weeks ago. So I think if there's a time where your team's going to show up prepped, it's going to be this game. And unfortunately, we're on a bye week right now, so we're going to be looking at you guys in first place. And that's kind of how I feel about this upcoming game for you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited for this matchup, but at the same token, I'm nervous about this matchup. Only because, yes, there's no offense or buts. The Jets are the better team. The Jets are literally the better team. And I know that sounds cliche since we lost to them, you know what I'm saying, at home, the first matchup. But, we, like you said, we lost by a score when Zach Wilson made ridiculous mistake. 3, back-breaking mistakes. You only beat us by a score. You didn't score a single touchdown in the second half. Everything you had was field goals. Oh, by the way, those field goals came off of us giving great short field and a great field advantage. Mm-hmm. Like, they couldn't move the ball on our defense. And then when you watch the tape again, you see our offense, like, our guys got open at will. Like, Garrett Wilson in that game, I didn't even think anybody was covering him that game. Because I know we didn't hit him because, well, he did have like 100-something yards, 8 receptions. He had a good game. But there was a lot more times where he could have racked up a lot more numbers because he was so freaking open. Like, the New England Patriots, man, are not a good team right now. They're just not. They don't have the talent. Yeah, they got Bill Belichick. I get it. Bill Belichick is freaking Darth Vader. Everybody's terrified of him. But that game was more along the lines of either they were asking Zach Wilson to do too much. I mean, he hit that 300-plus freaking passing yards threshold that everybody was talking about, multi-freaking TDs. But we lost the game, right, based off of him throwing the ball too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I do believe this weekend, this Sunday, we go back to the basics. We run the ball. Our defense do what they got to do. We win this game, putting the Jets first in the AFC East. And the reason why I feel so confident about the Jets and the Dolphins being the ones talking about the division leaders is because I think our defense matches up with anybody. And in the same token, the Dolphins' offense, I think, matches up with freaking anybody. And I think that's why at the end of the day, like, because Tua doesn't just have to throw it to freaking Hill, as proven this past week. He's got options if he wanted them. Whereas it's a Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen show. And then after that, who else is on the offense that's going to do anything for you? Who else scares you on offense? And the defense is great. But I think if you can shut down that offense and you bring in a solid running game, you can go ahead and disturb the Buffalo Bills, man. Like what was once scary to me, and again, it's not because we beat them. It's because we beat them, Dolphins beat them, then they just lost to the Vikings as well. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of them at all. It's going to be a Dolphins or Jets to take over the AFC East here this season, which is surprising because I don't think any of us thought that was going to be the case.
For sure.
No, I mean, me and Manny talked before the season, and I told him that maybe the Dolphins had a chance, a small chance. If anybody was going to take the AFC crown that wasn't the Bills, it might be the Dolphins. Yeah. Nobody thought it was going to be the Patriots because honestly, the Patriots are doing better than I thought they would. And I was hoping that the Jets would just fight for a wild card spot. So you're right. But it's not like the Bills are losing to bad teams. It took a fumble inside their own end zone. It took a miraculous catch on 4th down by Justin Jefferson. Like, the Bills should have won that game. So, I mean, I'm not counting them out just quite yet. I still think that they have a great team. They have a solid defense.
Oh, I didn't say they didn't have a great team. This isn't me saying like the team isn't great.
Right.
I'm saying
you're just pointing out the actual flaws of their team right now.
Their team, which is the thing is when we didn't see them before, because I was high on saying, yo, that team is flawless. In fact, my Jets versus freaking Bills video, I sat here and said they're flawless. I don't know how we're going to pull this off. These guys are perfect. They've got playmakers at every level. I didn't expect Josh Allen to have a mental collapse. Like I didn't expect that. Like he'd been playing so well thus far this season. And I know I've heard people saying like, hey, he's due for one mental lapse, you know what I'm saying, at some point or another. And I wouldn't say it even happened against us. I don't think we were the mental lapse because he scored 2 rushing touchdowns on us that game. Like he did his part through that a couple of bogus interceptions, but it made me believe our defense is just that good. The Vikings situation, the Vikings got a good defense. They don't have a great defense, and for them to do that to him made me realize, like, okay, there's something not right with Josh Allen's mentality. Because, again, those interceptions were thrown to nobody. Like, there was no one within 10 yards of where he was throwing them to, which is what gave me the belief that, like, okay, Josh Allen right now is above his head. He's in his own mind. I don't know how long it lasts, but if it lasts a couple more weeks, they're talking about
even better for
a
us.
wild card spot. And that's better for us.
Well, I think that's where my question is, though. If I would have told you before the season started, the Bills are going to end the season 14-3, would you say that sounds about right?
Yeah.
14.
Yep. I would agree.
Well, they have the 3 losses right now. They have to lose them eventually. I think more people are overreacting with the Bills more than anything because it was 2 in a row. And it's like, oh, shit, they lost 2 in a row. Josh Allen threw some bad picks. I still think that they're the best team in possibly the AFC, even with Josh Allen's boneheaded plays. I think they still managed to win the division, unfortunately.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think, in your realm of possibility, that the reason he's had back-to-back rough games is that potential injury? Or do you think there's just defenses catching up to kind of like what Gunny said? Outside of Josh Allen, outside of Stephon Diggs, does anybody else really on that offense scare you? So now if you're able to contain those 2 guys as much as you could potentially contain those guys, because those guys are animals, what do you think it's more? Do you think it's more the injury, or do you think it's more defenses and now are catching up on what they do well and are trying to minimize that as much as possible? And that's where they're able to hang around against the Bills and potentially end up beating them.
Can I take this one real quick, Gunny?
Go ahead. Do you think, brother? Do you think?
I think what Josh Allen suffers from is what Zach Wilson suffers from. Only that Josh Allen has the credit from the last 2 years where he's allowed to do it. But he goes for the home run ball often. Like, he's constantly looking downfield instead of checking it down because he can. He has the arm strength, and he's has the credit from the last 2 or 3 years where people are like, well, fuck it, he could do it. He's done it before. But there was a couple plays where he could have taken the easy pass, and he chose not to take it. And Zach Wilson does that, and we kill him for it because he hasn't earned the right to do that yet. But I think they suffer from similar situations.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the issues that Josh Allen has. What's you, Gunny?
I'm gonna say it's potentially. I don't think the injury is a big deal, if I'm being honest, because we've seen him still launch the ball like with accuracy. In fact, I know we give Sauce a lot of credit for being able to break up that pass, but it hit that man in stride, right in the chest between the numbers. It hit Gabe Davis. I was like, at first I thought like, oh my God, Sauce is a G. Yo, crown that dude Defensive Player of the Year from that play, and then you watch the replay and you're like, God damn. That was an accurate, on-the-money freaking throw. Davis just dropped
And,
it.
and it was either the play after or 2 plays after he got that injury. Like, it had just happened. He had just gotten injured.
And I don't think the injury is an issue. I don't. Now, I do think it's a combination of him realizing that he has to be the person that makes things happen because he knows the running game isn't doing it. He knows if they take Stephon Diggs away, he's got to figure out who he's going to go ahead and make the target. But I also do believe that defenses have kind of figured that out too. Hey, listen, if we take away Stephon Diggs and we can keep him in the pocket and don't let him run, he's going to try to make something happen.
Because isn't that what happened against you guys? He had those 2 big scrambles against you guys to start that game off, and they took that quick, and then they're like, hold on a second. All right, so if we keep his ass in the pocket and we take away Stephon Diggs, we might be able to beat this team, and that's exactly how you guys ended up beating them.
100%. Because in the second half, he didn't rush for shit. Like, he didn't rush for a damn thing. Stephon Diggs became a ghost of whatever. I forgot he was even playing on the damn team. Like, and I think once that happens and you're forcing Josh, remember, before Stephon Diggs got over there, Josh Allen was a sub 50 to 55% like freaking completion like quarterback.
He was Mitch Trubisky. I might still have the pictures up on Instagram, which is what Bills Mafia was killing for. I had a graphic of both of them and their stats. It was identical. I'm not sure playing. It was identical in the first 2 seasons.
But you know what? In actuality, like, you're not wrong, right? Because the last 3 games, look at the statistics. When you take away Stephon Diggs, like 58% complete, like, it's bad. So then you see the importance of like why you give young quarterbacks a playmaker wide receiver, right? This is why you traded all those picks to bring him in. But you take Diggs away, and he reverted back to Josh Allen in year 1 and year 2. So I do believe that there's some aspect to that how defenses have figured out, hey, you know what? Let's try this. Let's keep his ass in the pocket. Let's take away Diggs. Anybody else can beat us. Anybody else can beat us. Let's see if you can do it. He hasn't been able to do it twice now. And the Dolphins did the same thing. You know, nobody paid attention, but that's how the Dolphins beat him too. They took away Diggs. He got a couple of yards running, got you, and he had to go elsewhere.
Right.
But, like, that's the formula, and it's working.
90 plays on offense, and we still escaped them. And we still escaped with the victory.
Bruh, the moment Diggs got taken away, it was just like, shit.
Okay. Can I give a shout out real quick to somebody in your chat? We got Blitz BK. He jumped in here and said, "What the hell? A polite Dolphin fan? What's going on here?" Listen, man. I don't know how bad. Listen, first of all, I do know how bad Dolphins Twitter is, but we're not all like that. You know, it's a very small circle of us that are a-holes. Yes, the negativity shows more than the positive. But for example, myself and a big portion of the deep end, which is section 129 at Dolphin Stadium, we're all pretty goddamn polite when it comes to it. Look, I wouldn't be able to do my Dolphin show with a Jets fan, and I wouldn't be able to do a Jets show. He wouldn't be able to do one with a Dolphins fan if, at the end of the day, we weren't honest about our teams. But special shout out to Blitz BK with that message.
Hey,
I appreciate
good
that.
People, man. Yo, Blitz BK gave me a ride when I went to the season opener. My wife and I got stuck at Coney Island like, shit, how do we get to the next part of it was a Saturday event? And he was just like, I got a car. I'll drive you guys. Out of nowhere, bro. Just an awesome Jets fan. Good looking out, Blitz. But yeah, no, this guy, like, literally, if you're not following him, if you're a Jets fan not following him, I love football. I love football. And I will talk football with anybody that's willing to have a legitimate conversation. Like, I'm real about my team. I'm real right now with the fact that, like, shit, I'm scared of the Dolphins. I'm not gonna pretend I'm scared of the Dolphins. Like, when you find individuals who
you're scared of the Dolphins offense. Let's be that. You're not scared of our defense. I want to make sure because I know Danny.
You're right. The offense. I'm not. The defense is paper thin, but the offense does worry me. But like when you get somebody with a high football IQ, and they're a fanatic. We're all fanatics. We're gonna root for our team and believe no matter what. But we can be real and have a conversation. Like those are what makes like the NFL stupid fun. And Bearded Phinatic is one of those guys, Blitz. Trust me. If you're not following him on Twitter, on Instagram, follow him. This is one of the realest like AFC East fans you will ever encounter. And he's right. I've started to realize, okay, there are a bunch of you guys who have high IQs and who understand the game and want to have a conversation. Unfortunately for us, the ones who don't seem to be the loudest. And that's how we get our perception of people.
And before we let Danny, and I will tell you that I've seen said Dolphin fans, and I'm not going to mention them on your show because I don't even mention them on my show. But I see when you go at those trolls, I'm like, Danny has asked me. He's like, we should ask one of those to be. I will never bring them on my show. I would never have that negativity on my show. Like, it's bad enough I deal with Danny sometimes and his negativity, his disrespect. I will not have somebody from my own fan base at trolling on my own show. I just can't do it.
But I enjoy debating, so I would love, because me and Manny, although we go back and forth, Manny's very polite. I would love to go back and forth with an asshole like that. I would love that. That would be fun. I would enjoy it. So bring him on.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have fun with it on Twitter. You guys have seen me freaking going back and forth. It's just because a lot of times they feel so confident about themselves, and it's the simplest thing you can just Google and be like, "What are you talking? That makes no sense. Look here. Here is the pure stat. This isn't me just being like, oh, I'm a Jets fan. I'm gonna say what I want to say. Here's the statistic, screenshot of it, and I love doing that. And then they go quiet or they go ghost, or they'll talk about, hey, I want to bet. I'm like, all right, bet. Let's bet. I got the money. Fuck it. Let's do the damn thing. Oh, I won't do anything less than $500. Got you. Let's do it. And then I get blocked. And Veared Phinatic, I was just like, hey, I'll even leave the money with a Dolphins fan. Veared Phinatic, I will Venmo, Cash App, whatever. Then I'll
take it to him. Yeah.
Bro, I got blocked, bro. I was like, okay, see, like, so those individuals, man, really get under my skin. Like, they
don't want that smoke, man. They don't want that smoke.
But nah, like, real talk though, Bearded Phinatic is a real one. Like, literally.
By the way, you got Dark Soldier calling you out as well. Gunny, you're like 50 minutes behind on comments. What's up with that?
I know. I'm catching up. My bad, Dark Soldier. Like I said before, like you get into certain groups.
You get into it. You get into it, man. Yeah.
And I just get into. I forgot. Like, oh, this is a show. I got people waiting and asking questions. Let me do my part. But yeah. So, I know right now y'all got the Dolphins have their bye week. The Jets are playing the Patriots. So if y'all had to, I'm gonna go with you first, Bearded. What do the Jets need to do this Sunday to beat the Patriots in your thought process?
I've been preaching it for several weeks now, even from the beginning of the season. You make teams one-dimensional, so make their weakness is what beats you. The reason I was so confident about the Browns game, and I told Danny we put up 30-something points, was the fact that I felt like our offense was clicking at the right time. The reason why I feel so confident about the Jets is because I feel your team is clicking at the right time. That defense, now it's a top-flight defense. Like, we knew Sauce was going to be special. But you're like, you know what? The rest of the secondary might be questionable. Our front line is strong, but what about our linebackers? It seems like everybody on that defense right now is on the same page. The rotations, I have to bring up the rotations because Danny hated it at first. The rotations are working very effectively for your defense.
Hated it.
I hated it.
Zach Wilson's taking care of the ball again, except outside of that one bad game. And, dude, Michael Carter, James Robinson, you shove it down Bill Belichick's throat. And then when that's not working, play action, short pass. Listen, the one thing I appreciate about Zach Wilson's last game, and I shared it with Danny, was that when he had to make a throw, he was making the throw. Yeah. He didn't have to throw it down 45 yards of the field. Quick 5-yard pass, got it. Quick 10-yard pass, got it. And when he didn't have it, he was running out of the pocket on 3rd and 10 and picking it up and not making a stupid throw. I think that you have all the recipes right now to keep the New England Patriots at the bottom of the division and win this game come Sunday.
Okay, awesome. All right, Battered Jets fan, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, real quick, I followed Blitz BK on Twitter. Hopefully he's as much of a Jets fan as you're saying he is.
Right. He is.
All right, so this game, you just got to stick to the formula, right? Run the rock. Only trust Zach Wilson when you have to. 3rd and 5, he can hit Mims between the numbers. He can hit Corey Davis if he comes back between the numbers. Like, trust him and get Garrett Wilson the ball. But, like, you don't have to force sideline throws to Elijah Moore unnecessarily. Like, just stick to the formula, run the rock, just like you did with the Bills, and just play good defense. Special teams, like, it's the fundamentals when you're playing against Bill Belichick. Don't get cute. Like, I feel like LaFleur tried to get cute against Bill Belichick a couple weeks ago. He came out with 12 passes in the first 15 plays. That's cute. Don't get cute with Bill Belichick. Just do what you do and do it well. It's unnecessary to do all this dumb passing so often with Zach Wilson when it hasn't been working this year. And not that it won't work in the future, but right now we need a game manager, Zach Wilson. He can make the plays when he has to make them plays, but don't put the game on his shoulder. I definitely think that we have a chance to win this game. And I think with the defense, like you said, Mac Jones didn't do anything against us the first time we played them.
No.
Outside of, there was 10 points. It was literally that that pick six. That pick six changed the game around completely, not only because it took those points away from us, but it moved them up 15 yards into field goal range.
Yep.
They got those gifted 3 points. Then they came back in the second half, and what was it? The kicker slipped. They got the ball at like the 50-yard line almost.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 plays down the field. They scored a quick touchdown. And it was like a 10-point swing out of absolutely nowhere. And after that, it was like another 2 field goals, and that was the game. So I think if we can avoid him, he slipped 2 games in a row. I'm not sure what's going on with his cleats.
Yeah,
you got to figure that out.
Needs to figure that shit out real quick.
So figure that shit out, because we can't have that happen again. Figure that out. Stick to the formula, and we should win. And I feel so scared saying that, because I don't like saying we should win. Because as a Jets fan, I feel like every time I've ever thought to myself, like, can you think of a big game when you thought the Jets should win this game? The last time I felt like that was against the Patriots 2 weeks ago. And before that, I don't remember when was the last time I felt like we need to win this big game. I don't remember. When we have a big game, I'm never going into it like confident that we're going to win. But for some reason, this Sunday, I feel confident, and it's scary.
I love it. I love it. I agree 100%. I think at this point, there's going to be a lot of Jets fans I keep wanting to see Zach Wilson throw up fantasy football numbers. And to me, I don't give a damn about any of that. Zach Wilson managing a game for me is fine. It's fine. You've seen a lot of good quarterbacks this season lose games for their teams. Like, I don't know what's going on, but this year it seems almost uncharacteristic where we went from a quarterback-heavy, like, led league where those guys could get you to wins. We've seen a lot more guys lose games for us this year, to include Zach Wilson, right, against the Patriots. And for me, we don't need Zach to be a top-looking 5-10 guy. I don't care. I don't care. We got an elite defense, a good running game. Let's go ahead and pound the rock. One thing Zach Wilson has definitely improved on is, like you were saying earlier, being able to get those little 5-yard outs. You know what I'm saying? Those little those little easy freaking dump passes where he struggled with last year. He's cleaned that up. He can do that now. Hey, I don't care if it's an extended run play. Get the ball into freaking Carter, Robinson, Elijah Moore now going into the slot. I'm happy about that. Just make it easy for Zach. I don't need him freaking being Superman. I don't want him to go ahead and be the reason why we win games. I just want it to be the reason why we don't lose games. I think our defense is that good and our running game is that good. And I'm 100% on board. We don't need Zach to be flashy. And if we do that, simple game plan, the Patriots just can't keep up. They just can't. They don't have the horses. You can be a great coach all you want to, but at the end of the day, you need the players to execute. You need the players with the talent to be able to win games in the league. They don't have the players. I mean, Judon, other than that, who the hell are you scared of on the Patriots freaking like team? Like it's almost too simple. A Dark Soldier said the Bills are now 4th best team in my opinion. I disagree. I disagree. I had to keep that one up there for a little bit. Hey, Dark Soldier. Hey, you my guy, man. Like, you know you my guy. I disagree. That team.
You know what that was? That was hopeful wishing on his behalf. He cut off the sentence. He's like, the Bills now are the 4th best team in the AFC East. I wish. That he
forgot. He forgot to add to that.
He forgot that part.
The Patriots by far have the least amount of talent in the AFC East. They're right now surviving off of the fear aspect of Bill Belichick. I wouldn't even say it's coaching. You're seeing a lot of teams just shoot themselves in the foot because it's like, oh shit, it's the Patriots. It's Bill Belichick. And that's what's allowing them to be where they're at, man.
I'm sorry, we read that wrong. He put in the league. My bad, guys. He put in the league. I thought it was just the AFC.
Team in the league.
My bad. Okay. That makes way more sense.
In the league.
My bad.
See that. No.
Right. I didn't see that either. I thought you bet in our division. I was about to say, holy shit. Wow. But all right, in the league, I'll take that. Okay. I agree.
That's fair. So I must have
wait. Can I ask him a question?
Go ahead.
Dark, if the Bills are your 4th best team, who's your top 3?
Not the Dolphins.
No, I wasn't asking for the Dolphins, sir. Relax. I want to know who he puts ahead of the Bills. We can have a conversation about that.
Oh.
By the way, I agree, Gunny. While he answers that question, Mac Jones doesn't scare anybody. I didn't agree that Mac Jones, one, should have been in the NFL top 100. I don't care if he made the Pro Bowl. Just because he had a good season and nobody knew who he was yet. But for him to make the NFL top 100 and that was disrespect to the list of 100 players, in my honest opinion.
Facts. Freaking facts.
But there is nobody on that offense that scares me.
But that was the Patriots' love. Everybody loves the Patriots. Like, as far as media goes, it's disrespect for the Patriots and what they've been.
Yeah, so there's nobody on that offense that should scare you. So if anything, I feel that, and I hate to say it this way, I feel that much more confident, Danny, that you guys should win this game easily. In my point, like the way that you felt confident that the Jets were going to beat the Bills, getting closer to the game, I feel like you should be that much more confident about this game. And I get it. It's the Patriots. It's the history. I get all that. But I honestly feel like you should be that much more confident because the fact that they don't have a Josh Allen on that team. They don't have a Stephon Diggs on that team. Yes, they have a very well-coached team, but at the end of the day, your defense is stronger than that offense by miles. So if anything, you might be able to tee off and blitz a little bit more on that offense and get your offense back on the field much more.
That's the beauty of the Jets defense, though. That's the beauty of the Jets defense is that we don't need to blitz. That's why we're such a good defense because we get at the quarterback with the front four. So we have linebackers that can get after the running backs and fill in those gaps or drop back in coverage, and we have nowhere to throw the ball.
But I think what he's saying is that the Patriots offense is so just not terrifying. You could put our guys on an island against the freaking receivers and just destroy Mac Jones.
Right, just tee off on his ass. And like literally, I get it. It was a 22-17 game. I get that. But you remember how you guys wanted to embarrass him that game that you lost 22-17?
No, I was coming out on Twitter and asking people to stop saying that because I didn't understand what the point is.
This is the opportunity.
He's talking about me. I'm guilty.
This is the opportunity you have right now to embarrass them. Like, this is the time because you have put shit together the last 3 weeks and you probably didn't think it was going to happen so quickly. But let's be honest. None of us expected the Jets to be where they are. I for sure didn't expect the Jets to be where they are.
I didn't expect
6-3 now. 6-3 now.
No, hell no.
Right. So the fact that you guys are playing such good ball, I feel like this has to – I want to see the Patriots get embarrassed. Listen, I was a battered Dolphin fan as well watching Tom Brady stomp on us for multiple years. Yeah. So I want somebody to embarrass them. And when we beat them, it wasn't an embarrassment. Danny reminds me all the time, your offense only put up 13 points. It was a win. But at the end of the day, I want some – shut up. I want somebody to embarrass the New England Patriots. And I really think you guys have a shot of doing it this Sunday.
Elijah Moore, you saw he was going in motion a lot last game, right? You never touched the ball.
Real quick. Real quick. By the way, the chat's telling you to raise your mic volume a little bit, Gunny.
Me?
Yes.
I got y'all. Pulled it up to 95. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Better? All right.
So cool. Elijah Moore was set into motion often. He never got the ball, but they're setting it up. They look back at the film and they said, let's see how the defense is reacting to this. I have a feeling that he's finally that's right, it's not a big deal, but I think he finally touches the ball this week. I think he gets 3 receptions. 3 receptions, 43 yards. And you can come back to this watch. I'm on the money. 43 yards, exactly.
I think
he's in the slot. He's in the slot full time now, right, Gunny?
Yeah, full time. Yep. That's what Coach Salah said.
Yeah,
bro, you said that. You said 3. I think he gets his first touchdown this game. I think
I said that last week and I was wrong.
I've yet to say that about Elijah. I'm not gonna lie to you. You saw the way I felt about his little bitch ass requesting a trade request. I was very, very adamant on that. I can understand the frustration, and I get that. As a competitor, you want the ball in your hands. But if he made that request after we lost to the Patriots, I'd have been like, can't blame him. We ain't using him. Difference in it. But to do that in the midst of a win streak, bro, like I know people are going to say get over it, is what it is. That shit rubbed me the wrong way, man. I'm still salty about it. Call me. You don't do that when your team is winning because it shows that you're about yourself and not the team. But had he just waited to the Patriots loss and said, if y'all bitches would just throw me the ball, we win the game, I'd have been like, you know what? He's fucking right. If we threw him the ball, it would have been a completely different reaction to the fan base. And I think that's why, for me, I'm still a little salty about it. But the kid is he's too talented to not just respect the fact He's too
I agree.
talented. And I do believe that putting him primarily in the slot, I think the Jets' game plan, like you said, they kind of set it up last week to kind of see how it was going to work out. And it looked like he was open at will. I think we see freaking Zach Wilson getting a couple of dump offs and letting that man operate.
Which is something you guys have been saying from the get-go, that he should have never been on the outside. He should have been in the slot the whole entire season from the beginning to start off with.
I've been yelling that forever. And if Denzel Mims keeps playing, gets as many snaps as he's been getting, could you imagine Denzel Mims and Corey Davis on the outside blocking? Those have to be two of the best blocking wide receivers in the league for the running game.
I agree.
So if you have those two big bodies opening, running fast out down the sidelines, like things are setting up well for the Jets, even without Breece Hall. As much as that sucks, and Max Mitchell might be back.
Yeah, Max Mitchell. I mean, the George Fant situation right now is getting kind of weird. I'm starting to feel like George Fant is pretty much on his way out. They haven't told us yet, because we went from needing a couple weeks to get his freaking knee right to it's been freaking 6 now. You had the bye week. We were all expecting. They were expecting him back. And now they're like, oh, yeah, he's not practicing this week, but he's off IR. What's your take on what's going on with George Fant? I'm pretty sure something's going on right now that we're just not keen to.
Honestly, where would you put him? I think that's the issue. What's the rush in bringing him back when he did play at left tackle? He didn't play that well.
He was trash.
Last year he had a decent year, but he came back this year, and maybe it was the moving from left to right, back to left, that messed him up a little bit, but he didn't perform very well this year so far. So he got injured. We got Dwayne Brown back. He's playing solid. We got Max Mitchell and Elijah Vera Tucker playing great on the right tackle, until AVT went down. So I don't see why rush him back. Like you said, I think he might be gone after this year. And Becton isn't going to get a contract next year. I know that's a different conversation for another day, but Becton's going to be on a contract here next year, so he's going to have to play his ass off also. I don't see where George Fant fits in here.
I feel that that's one thing we didn't bring up today, Gunny, which is surprising to me. But I did bring it up last week when we recorded with Justin C. Danny, was the fact that, and I'll say it on your show because I think if Jets fans haven't given this unit enough appreciation, they definitely should, is the fact that you guys have literally played tic-tac-toe, patch them up with your offensive line, and they've been so effective. And granted, that could go back to coaching. It can. Yeah. But at the end of the day, every single player on that offensive line is stepping up for said player who went down with an injury, and they're playing. So, listen, whether it's your offensive line coach or whoever's coaching those guys up, I need his twin brother in Miami, because for you to be able to get a bunch of nobodies to get them all good playing high caliber blocking on that offensive line for your rushing and your quarterback. Man, let me get some of that down here in the 305.
Nah, that's respect, bro. You're right. Like this offensive line's not getting enough love, right? Like we lost Elijah Vera Tucker. Woe was us. Like we were all. I'm still hurt by it because that dude he's just a fucking football player.
Yes.
But like in all actuality, when you look at Zach Wilson, and I'll be the first to say this, like if you look at some of the tape, like the last 3 games, Zach Wilson creates his own pressure. Like a lot of times.
Yes. 100%.
He creates his own pressure, and I'm like, bro, you could have stepped up in the pocket. There was nobody around. What are you doing? Like I'm watching these games now, and again after the emotional pieces died down, and I'm watching the All 22, which I gotta admit that the NFL Plus All 22, freaking awesome, so great. Like again, if you're not
best invention,
they're not sponsoring this video, but it's fun as shit to just go ahead and go back watch the All 22 film. It's just. Zach Wilson creates a lot of his own pressure. But, yeah, this offensive line has been nothing but G's, man. Like, you got to show respect for that. And I think the most underappreciated person in that whole concept is C.J. Uzomah. C.J. Uzomah pretty much, man, has been an additional offensive lineman every time he stepped on the field. And he's blocked at an elite level. He doesn't get enough credit for that because, again, he's a tight end, playing offensive lineman. But I think to give Zach time or to open up those holes for the running game, it's so underappreciated. It's kind of freaking depressing. But good point, man, Bearded Phinatic, because you're right. This offensive line has played significantly above what any of us anticipated, especially with the amount of injuries that we've taken.
As a previous left tackle in my previous lifetime, I have to give credit when it comes to the offensive line. Listen, they are doing big work, man.
Yeah. Okay, so Dark Soldier answered your question. So he got Kansas City, the Vikings, Philly in that order, and then I would assume the Buffalo Bills. So the top 3 for him is KC, Vikes, and Philly. I can't really argue that.
No,
I don't think I could argue that either. Philly, listen, they lost that game yesterday. I don't know how close you guys watched that game yesterday.
I watched the whole thing.
Washington played great football all
Perfect.
4 quarters, not
Perfect
taking anything
football.
away from them.
Yeah.
One stupid penalty at the end of the game,
Ended it.
They could have eventually came back, but who's to know they weren't going to get in the end zone? Because even when Jalen Hurts on that previous play hit that 45-yard bomb where the receiver got up, didn't secure the ball, and then fumbled it, listen, the Commanders were playing lights-out football at all 3 phases yesterday. And I'm not saying that Philly got caught, but if they were sleeping at the wheel, it's just Washington. Listen, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm happy that they're no longer perfect, but I agree. I think you have to move from that top spot.
That perfect season is so fucking overrated. I hate when they talk about
it. It is. But guess what? There's only one team that can talk about it.
Here it is.
Oh my God.
Here it is. In all actuality, the only reason why I care about a perfect season is just so the Dolphins can't say they're the only team that ever did it. That's the only reason why I care about it. So I was rooting for the Eagles to go perfect this year. I was like, all right, well, the rest of their schedule's been soft. The rest of their schedule seems soft. They should be able to go ahead and get there. But ultimately, that means I would have to root for them in the Super Bowl.
I will tell you this. As a Dolphins fan, 2 things I've never brought up, and Danny can vouch for me, is A, their perfect season, and 2, their back-to-back Super Bowls. I wasn't around, so I can't be like, oh, here, look at us. We're perfect. Oh, look at us, back-to-back Super Bowl. Man, this happened while I was still in my daddy's ball sacks, wherever that man is on this earth. There's no way in hell that I would ever claim either of those 2 things. You know what I could claim? That you guys should have drafted Dan Marino, and you went with, was it Ken O'Brien instead?
You're right. You're right.
I know you guys got so many Super Bowls because you guys Marino. We did it.
No. But what I'm saying is you could have potentially won Super Bowls if you had Marino on cheap.
Yeah.
He could have been in a better situation than what he was in
Miami.
Miami.
Yep. It's all about right situation.
I'm just saying.
Because that boy
Pittsburgh dropped the ball. Yeah. So I could look at that. We were the winningest team in the NFL well into Jay Fiedler, Ricky Williams era, and then just straight 20 seasons of nothing but trash. So that's what I could claim. I can't claim Super Bowl 72 and whatever else it was. Come on, man. Like, if you're younger than me, you shouldn't even be talking about that perfect season. I'm just saying.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, last time I'm watching the game, and then the wife and I are both watching the game in bed, and she's like, so the Eagles are – I'm like, yeah, they're undefeated. I hope they stay that way. She goes, let me guess, you're sick and tired of the Dolphins? I'm like, you're 100% right. I'm sick and tired of the Dolphins fans talking about they're the only team that's ever done it. And she said, like, so you're going to root for them in the – like, if it was the Jets versus them in the Super Bowl, I was like, nah, fuck that. The Super Bowl.
No, definitely not.
All day. That's not even a question. Why are you asking ridiculous questions for?
Shout out to your wife. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Manny, who would you root for in that situation?
Ooh.
Jets Eagles in the Super Bowl, and the Eagles had a chance to go undefeated.
Ooh, good question.
You know what? I'd go for the New York Jets. That's who I would go for. You want to know why? Philly has
your wife's a Philly fan?
No. Oh, well, she already has a Super Bowl. That's where I was going. Philly has already won a Super Bowl in this decade.
I got you.
As much hate as I may have for the Jets, I do love my co-host. So I would want him to get a Super Bowl win in his lifetime. And obviously, I want a Super Bowl victory in my lifetime as well. So I can talk about that.
You are a better man than me, sir.
I know I am. But we've known this. We've known that I'm a better man than you.
He goes, there's a surprise there. This is already known.
Right. That's no surprise. But yes, I would pick the Jets to win just because, dude, I saw what it meant to Philly fans to win that Super Bowl after never winning one. Yeah. So I could imagine what it would do for a Jets fan base where people were like, dude, you guys won like Super Bowl one. Shut up. You haven't done anything relevant. I could just see.
It was 3, by the way, but
I could see how much it would mean to a fan base that's never seen that for that. Because think about it. We saw the Patriots win how many? It's like, all right, stop winning. Like, we wanted somebody else to win. But, yeah, if I were to see that, I'd want to do it for the Jets fan base. I think that most of them deserve a Super Bowl. Not all of them. Like, I don't think all Dolphin fans deserve a Super Bowl win because But the Jets fans, yeah, I would pick the Jets to win.
I know we're getting close to the end, but I did have a question. Who do you think needs home field advantage more, the Jets or the Dolphins?
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Dolphins, bro. Just 4-0 right now away. Like, for some reason, away games are like home games to us. We were more comfortable. 4-0.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna go 9-0 on the road.
You're right.
Oh, by the way, did you see that we're gonna play 10 games at MetLife next year?
No, I have not seen that.
Yes, we have 9 home games next year.
Damn it.
And then one of the road games is against the Giants. We play 10
so
games.
We're at home.
We play 10 games at MetLife next year. I know, it's a random thing that just randomly popped in my mind.
I hope we figure this damn thing out then, because we have not. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. These at home games are kind of surprised. We're like 2-3 at home right now. It's weird. Like, I don't understand how, like, in your home field, your environment, like, you're not performing to the level that we're seeing you do when you're away. And I don't know. It's kind of frustrating to me. But yeah, I think the Dolphins would need home field advantage more in the playoffs.
Yeah, because their defense is completely different at home.
Right, and not just for that. I think that you guys are built more for road games just based off your strength. Your strength is running the rock.
That's true.
And you're in strong defense. That applies to road games. So for us, if you have a bad weather game, and I mean like terrible blizzard up in Buffalo, that ball's not going to arrive as accurately as you may think. Now you have to rely on other things. But I'll tell you this, and again, I think we've talked enough Dolphins on the show today. These past 2 weeks, the way the combination of Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson have looked,
Jeff Wilson
if it keeps going, if it keeps going, that might be a problem. So I'll leave it on that.
And what Dark Soldier just said, just never beat Philly. That's literally the only team we've never beat.
Never beat.
Literally.
Yeah.
Never beaten Philly.
0-13? 14?
I'm not sure what it is. I just know that's the only NFL team we've never beat.
It's disgusting, actually. All right, so I know we're getting down to it, man. I know y'all appreciate you guys for coming on. Y'all got other obligations, so I'm just get right to it. So, the Jets versus the Patriots this weekend. Now, for you, Bearded Phinatic, obviously it's going to impact you. We lose, you guys stay in first. We win, you drop the second, but the Patriots are even further back and potentially shot out of the playoff conversation. So, who do you see winning the game this weekend, and what do you predict the score is going to be?
I think Jets win this game. I have no issue as a competitor to see you guys at the end and fight you for that first playoff spot. I have no problem if the Bills go on a winning streak and they take the first one and us battle you for that second seed. I have no problem with that at all. But I honestly do want to see you guys embarrass the New England Patriots. I want to say that you guys probably won't put up north of 30, but I can see you guys putting up a 24-27 piece on the New England Patriots and winning this game 27-10.
Okay. Nice. Battered Jets fan. What say you?
I think we come out hot, kind of like we did last game. You know how we got that 17, what was it, 17-3 or 17-6 lead after that?
6, yeah.
Right before they pulled back the pick 6. I think the score is something similar to that going into halftime. And I think we keep the foot on the pedal. I think we put up about 27. And how much did you say, man? You said 27-10?
Yeah, I think it's 27-10, 24-10, and definitely in the high 20s, but not north of 30.
I'm going with that same score, 27-10. I don't think they score more than 10 on us. I don't think that the Jets are going to be messing around. I think Zach Wilson's going to protect the ball, so no dumb turnovers, giving them a short field because that's how they scored with those short fields. And I think our special team plays well. Braxton Berrios has to stop running the ball out of the end zone on kickoffs because we always get the ball like at the 15-yard line. So I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win comfortably, and I'm scared saying it, but I'm saying it anyway.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. Like I was doing the old backup prediction thing, and obviously that shit fell out the water. It's not working anymore.
Right.
So I can be real now about how I really feel about this game. In this situation, I'm right there with you guys. I don't believe the Jets are going to show us their ass the way they did the first time against the Patriots. I don't believe the Patriots have what it takes in terms of talent to be on the same field as the Jets. In fact, I don't think they have the talent to be on the same field as any team in the AFC East right now. Their drafting, their loss of man, it's been horrendous. And so I think on Sunday the Jets do win this game. And I'm going to be a little bit more modest with a 21-14 score point. And the only reason being is that I do expect Zach Wilson to throw at least one interception. I think Zach Wilson's going to go ahead and put them in a position to go ahead and at least get a touchdown because it's going to be just right there for them in terms of field position. I got us taking this game 21-14. They will not score in the second half. They won't score in the second half. I think it's going to be like 14-14, something like that in the first half. We're going to take the lead 21-14 in the third, maybe the fourth. And after that, we're just going to keep running the ball down their throats, and they'll never get back on our side of the field. So 21-14, New York Jets get the win on Sunday and become the number 1 team in the AFC East, the number 2 team in the AFC.
You know, if the Chargers were to somehow beat the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, you know we're the number 1 team in the AFC.
Even if it's just for a week. Even if it's just for a week. The simple fact that no one would have fathomed this being a reality is enough.
All I wanted was to see the In the Hunt graphic. Could you imagine for me for 1 week seeing first round bye on a graphic for at least a week?
I'll take it. Even if it's just temporary, I'll take it. Because we're talking about, man, this is some shit we never thought we were going to see before. Not this season anyway. And yet here we are.
For sure. Yep.
But gentlemen, hey, look, I appreciate you guys coming on. I know you guys got another show to go ahead and go do y'all some popular motherfuckers. So with that said, go ahead and tell everybody where they can go ahead and find you guys.
Let's see. You could, if you're a Jets fan, obviously most people in here are Jets fans. We do the Battered Jets Fan podcast once a week. Usually Tuesday or Wednesdays we drop it. It's not live because life is complicated, so we can't do it live. But we record it. We drop it usually around midnight, and, you know, that's once a week. And we also do a Battered Fins fans. So if you're interested in checking out the opposite side, go ahead, man. You can talk up your Battered Fins fans.
I won't talk up too much. Again, I appreciate the fact that Gunny even spoke so much Dolphins today. He really didn't have to, so I appreciate that from you. But you can follow me on Twitter, Veared Phinatic. One thing that is very special about our combination, like we said, we keep it down the middle as much as possible. You know, we're not talking politics here, but we're not far left and we're not far right. We are as bipartisan about our teams as much as possible. Danny does get disrespectful at times. I don't find
now and again.
Right. You know, but I will tell you the one dynamic, Gunny and me and Danny agree with this. We were excited to do the show, and the reason we were so excited to do the show was, you know, we've been on with Italy Jets, amazing. We've done a show with Justin C, but the fact that when us three got together, it was such a natural thing. We had never talked a day of football amongst each other, and we're like, yo, that was really great chemistry, and it was great to do it with you again. So from the bottom of my heart, maybe partially his heart, because he doesn't have much of a heart, it was great being on here with you.
Hey, boys,
no, we do appreciate it, man. It's been fun talking it up with you. We've talked almost every week, actually.
Like, literally, we talk like every day.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We're like
BFFs, guys. We're like BFFs.
Hey, again, man, I appreciate you guys for coming on. This has been awesome. Looking forward to having you guys again. Everybody, y'all know where y'all can find me at. Y'all can find me here on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Now, I do have to do the shout out for the giveaway. I did not have everything prepped like I was supposed to. I'm going to do that and announce the winner for the content creators only giveaway for the Michael Carter helmet. And I'm going to just go live tomorrow randomly just to go ahead and have it pick, you know, the natural winner of that one.
And just real quick, before we run out real quick, Blitz BK just brought up the whole new stadium in Queens. That's NYCFC Stadium. It's a soccer stadium, so it's like a quarter of the size of the football stadium is. I think that's why they were able to get that, and the Jets can't. The lease is up in 2025, so we'll probably find out by 2024 if they're going to get out of that lease the next year and look for something new. Hopefully we do, because I'd love to not play in another state.
And the final thing I was going to tell you, Gunny, if I win anything from your giveaways, I'm going to put it right here for you. I will have one Jets thing right here in my Dolphin background supporting your team.
Giveaway for the microcards.
Yeah. So
I hope you don't win it. I'm not going to lie to you. I hope you don't win it. I would rather go to a Jets fan if I'm being 100% honest.
I appreciate that.
Gentlemen, appreciate you guys again. Have a good night. Enjoy your next show. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Have a good night. Till next time. Go Jets.